Howdy friends, I'm Jared. This is omnivorebladeworks, and it's my monthly update for May 2021. Lots of stuff has happened this month. I'll share some of it with you now, some of it later, but I want to give you an update because the Blade Show is coming up this Friday, and I'm going to go down there early in the morning, spend Friday and Saturday, and then come back home and get back to work. So here's what's going on. So I've been working on my sheath production operations for Tomahawks. That's my bottleneck right now. And I had to make a modification after I assembled the first sheath. And it's kind of a rigmarole trying to make a vacuum fixture with a shop vac and with MDF. But I wanted to test the concept before I did it with an O-ring and aluminum or something that cost more money. Anyway, so the sheath production happens over there on the molding press. And I use these MDF forming dies, and they work just fine. There's a little bit of, sometimes MDF falls apart, and so I try to fill this corner in, but basically it's a functional way to make a a thermoforming mold. And you go from that to something like this. And so the next step from having a rough cut molded piece is to trim out the excess on the bandsaw lickety split and then put it on the CNC mill to drill the holes and then screw it down in a few places so it doesn't move, and then use the right type of cutter to cut the locking slot and all the perimeter so that once it's off the mill it's just a matter of deburring and assembly with no extra fitting, because the CNC can hold 1/10 of a thousandth. There's lots of things that like you just saw on the way here, but the most important thing is that I have a wall full of finished Tomahawks that are just missing the final sharpened edges and a couple of set screws to hold the handles on. I just figured I'd save a little time and put 3 screws in instead of all 5. So you can see I've got black ones, I've got one camouflage one, which is kind of weird, and then I've got some flat dark earth, all ready to go, minus sharpened edges, final sharpened edges. And then I have another handful of flat dark earth ones that need grips. There's a difference in the shade of the micarta. This is normal canvas micarta, and that one right there was like a little thicker. So the resin and the coloring of it was just a little different. Anyway, the bottleneck I had with the sheaths today is that I got a whole complete thing done, and then I put the thing together, and then I tried to unlock it, and then I realized I got an interference fit between this washer and the screw that holds it back together. So I got to go back to the mold, and I got to go back to the spacer and move this rivet hole to a different spot a little bit so it clears the washer. Other than that, it works great. I'm going to be molding a bunch of these pieces hopefully tomorrow and trimming them out. And then I also need to make the malice clip adapter plates, which are going to be symmetrical on this new generation of Tomahawk, which the differences are from the old Anubis Tomahawk is that it's all, what is it? It's better. And there's no holes in the head. I've cut as much weight out of the head as possible with these pockets in the head. And you can see there's some machining marks left that I couldn't get out of some of them. And then it's just because the tool is too dull when I didn't catch it in time. But functionally they're fine, and they look pretty cool anyway. Other ones have no perceptible machining marks. And I ground the axe edges and the mohawk edges, spikes, underhook bevels, and beards. The underhook bevel is carbidized on this side and not on this side. So this is a right-handed model. So you're going to hold this, if you're going to do a pull cut, you're going to hold it in your right hand and pull up this way so that the edge digs in and cuts up and away. If you want a left-handed version, I would just sharpen on the other side. The lanyard loop on the bottom is the same as before. The CNC did the profiling of the tang and of the tomahawk grips in the same fixture, so they should be flush. There's a little bit of a flat spot because I didn't go to the trouble of rounding it over with the sandpaper on this particular little bitty corner. So that's something you can take the grips off if you don't like that and fix it yourself. I ain't got no time anymore. What else is going on? I've got some old inventory I can take to the blade show with me. I've got some unfinished things that I'd love to work on and get ready, but most likely I'm just going to have a few pieces on Nathan Carruthers' table, and I'm going to be hanging out with Chris Williams of Wilmot Grinders, and I'm going to be hanging out with Nathan Carruthers, and I'll be there Friday. I'm finishing my lawnmower Friday and Saturday, and that's it. I'm going to go home and get some more work done on Saturday night. Got way too much to do. So anyway, thanks for watching, and sorry it's been so long since I did an update, but there's been monkey wrenches in and out of my life for the past year, and I'll explain some of that later. But looking forward to a productive summer of sweating and making hot chips. So it's going to be great. Finally, not afraid of my milling machine anymore, and it seems to be working most of the time. It had a gremlin for a while, but I had it worked on, and it's still there, but maybe less persistent. All right, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.